Welcome to the AI with Arun Show. Today, we have an extremely exciting group of young innovators who have created Vitaris, which is a cutting edge medical records management system. Vitaris revolutionizes healthcare by integrating RFID technology, AI powered natural language processing, and intuitive appointment booking features. Let's meet the brilliant minds behind this groundbreaking project. And visitor viewers, you'll be surprised that the guests we have today are not grown up like the normally we have on the show, but they're all teenagers, 16, 15-year-old teenagers on the show. So first, let's welcome Ashvik Agrawal. He's an 11th grade student with a strong foundation in science and programming. He's very passionate about applying his skills to real-world challenges. Ahan, also a 16-year-old, is a forward-thinking innovator who thrives on creating solutions that push boundaries and enhance user experience. Aadi Mehta, also a 16-year-old, aspiring data scientist with a keen interest in physics, mathematics, and programming. And the intersection innovators, right? So let's get started first. So actually, we're going to start with you first. So tell our viewers about what is Project Vitaris and what are you trying to solve?
So, Vitaris is a comprehensive digital platform that consolidates all aspects of personal healthcare management. Users can easily access their healthcare records, including doctor's prescriptions, past medical histories of the patient, and all the upcoming appointments. The platform streamlines this whole process for doctors by facilitating effortless creation of prescriptions and then enhancing the coordination between healthcare providers and the patients. By digitalizing this whole process, Vitaris ensures all patient healthcare needs can be efficiently managed and all accessibility is in one centralized location.
Great, great. Great. So Han, let's go to you. So what inspired you to create this particular product? And also if you can explain to our viewers what the workflow is behind this, how does the technology flow?
Of course.
Let's do a deep dive.
I have always had people around me who work in the field of healthcare, and the concept of electronic health records always piqued my interest. And I love making projects, and I love innovating. So I have a lot of components lying around in my house. And I recently had ordered an RFID reader module, and then it struck me, why not use it for medical records? I immediately told everybody about it, Ashwin, and all of us loved the idea, and we shaped Vitaris into what it is today. So basically the workflow is very simple. Every patient is given an RFID card, so it can be carried in your wallets like you carry your credit and debit cards. When the card is scanned using the reader and the PIN is confirmed, the doctor's interface immediately fetches all of the data from the database, and the doctor gets complete access to all of the patient's records. And through the interface, the doctor can also write prescriptions in a simple, natural, and formal language, and the AI formats all of it into a cleaner form that is easier to read. And the moment the data is submitted into the database, it is immediately visible on the web-based patients portal.
Okay, wonderful. And what are some of the technologies that you're using, Ahan?
So we are, of course, using AI, and we are using RFID technology and other. We are using for the database. We are using relational database management, which makes it easier to manage a lot of different types of data.
Understood. That's great. That's wonderful. Thank you for talking to our viewers about that. Adi, we'll move on to you. Ahan spoke about RFID, and how RFID intrigued him. So Adi, talk to our viewers about, how you're using the RFID technology to enhance the patient data accessibility and some of the data security parts.
Well, RFID scanners in Vitaris they easily they allow easy access to patient records by scanning the card and speeds up processes by eliminating manual searches of typing patient details like the staff they do manual searches right in the database. Now, RFID technology that would speed up the process. It would reduce errors. It would save time and uh, e- each card has its own ID and its sensitive information and its PIN. It also each patient can view their data and it improves the efficiency and safety. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. That's great, Adi. So thank you. Harkeerat, let's move on to you. We talked about, Ahan talked about, how NLP is being used in your system, right? So talk to our viewers a little bit in more detail about how NLP is actually being used.
Yeah, so when we were initially starting Vitaris, what was very important to us was we want to make this as practical and easy to implement as possible. And what that would require us to do is eliminate any sort of friction that exists between, let's say, a healthcare provider and using our product, which is Vitaris. So what the NLP, natural language processing, allows us to do is it does just that. It essentially catalogs any remarks or any sort of input that the healthcare provider wants to give regarding a patient, and it catalogs it for us regarding specific categories. There is no sort of familiarization that the healthcare provider has to do with our product, since the heavy lifting is done by the AI itself. So let's say the ease of using Vitaris is extremely high. It's extremely user friendly for both the patient as well as the doctor. And in terms of efficiency, since the ease of use is so high, a lot of time is saved for a healthcare provider, and also managing the system requires extremely little effort, since input and output is done both by the AI and especially the API we're using. And the program is so easy to run as well as lightweight in nature that it can be applied almost in all scenarios, whether it be on very high scale or local regional hospitals, let's say.
Okay, that's wonderful, Harkeerat. So I like the way you guys have thought through the entire workflow to make it easier for everybody, be the doctors, be the patients.
Exactly.
So that's wonderful. Okay, so Ahan, let's talk to you about you spoke earlier about how you're bringing in different elements, right? There is an AI technology that's involved. There is NLP that you're bringing in. There's RFID that you're bringing in. So what are some of the challenges that you guys face while you're trying to bring everything together on the same platform?
So we did face a decent amount of problems, as for the scanner, we are using a microprocessor known as the Arduino. Arduino is programmed using C++, but most of our software is running on Python. But fortunately, we found a library that helps the Arduino and the Python programs communicate using serial communication. So that did help us a lot. And as for AI integration, we use the OpenAI API, and it helped us a lot, as we can directly integrate it in Python. What we did face problems with is that the model we were using, it gives output in one single string, like a chat, like let's say chat GPT, you talk to it and then it gives you an output in like as if it's talking to you. And we had to format that data so that it can be stored in the database in a cleaner format that can be translated using the software. But with some thinking, a lot of problem solving, a lot of brainstorming, we eventually figured it out.
Oh, wonderful, Vahan. So there were certainly technical challenges, but it's very inspiring to hear that you guys were able to work around it and figure out the technical solution. So that's wonderful. Right. So Ashvik, coming back to you, and let's talk a little bit more about the future, Ashvik. So how do you envision Vitaris evolving to address future healthcare needs?
Yeah, so Vitaris can evolve into a dynamic platform that not only manages the healthcare records, but also integrates cutting edge technologies to meet the future healthcare demands. By leveraging AI and machine learning, Vitaris can provide predictive analytics, offering personalized healthcare insights and also early detection of potential health issues. The inclusion of telemedicine features will make healthcare more accessible and enabling remote consultations and AI access diagnostics. Blockchain technology can also be incorporated to ensure secure, tamper-proof data storage, facilitating seamless incorporability between different healthcare systems. Additionally, integrating wearable devices will also allow a real-time healthcare monitoring app, automatically updating the patient records and triggering alerts for potential healthcare risks. To empower patients, Vitalis can also include educational resources and tools to manage personalized healthcare plans, promoting proactive healthcare management. So, through these innovations, Vitalis can not only make streamline healthcare processes, but also enhance patient outcomes, making healthcare more accessible to everyone, to all the types of crowd, secure and also efficient for everyone.
That's a great roadmap, Ashvik. I like the way you laid out multiple technology aspects, but more importantly, you have also been thinking about how patients and doctors can use it, because ultimately they are the eventual users. So Harkeerat, Ashvik spoke about a couple of things, including telemedicine and how predictive analytics is being used for predictive maintenance of health records of people. So talk to our viewers just on those two aspects of how telemedicine and about the predictability or predictive analytics is being used.
Yeah, so right now, obviously, Vitaris is more for administrative software, and the potential of Vitaris right now lies in the fact that you have everything regards to your information, regards to your health in one place. So let's say you go to a doctor, you get a prescription, they write you some tests, you go get the test results, and then those are also in the same place. You get your tests, you get your prescriptions, you get your diagnosis, everything in one place. So currently, that's the state we're in. However, the future definitely is extremely vast. The potential is unlimited in a sense. Talking about telemedicine, I think as the workload on doctors increases, we know that there is short of doctors all around the world. Telemedicine will become extremely important, and Vitaris as a system can definitely help with that, especially if we integrate features that allow for seamless communication between patients and doctors. That is definitely a possibility. Predictive healthcare is also extremely important because since we already have that information in place, we already have your health information, your past prescriptions, results, diagnosis, etc. We already have that in place. So using analytical AI, using already predictive models that can, first of all, help you prevent any problems from occurring, can give you specific educational information delivery in regards to your health. That is extremely important, can help you prevent any problems. Further, if you're at risk for anything, then maybe humans might not be able to pick out, since we can't sift through data, sift through thousands of reports, but AI can do that. Technology can do that. So that's a gold mine that we need to venture into. Finally, I think I'd like to say that currently what we can definitely do with Vitaris is we can focus on educational information delivery. By that I mean, currently we look at diagnoses, we look at diseases, and somebody who's not literate in medicine will just Google something, and we'll have WebMD searches, and then you'll get paranoid and stuff. That is not the most ideal way we should access our medical information. What this Vitaris can help us do is, regards to specific health conditions, accurate information we can provide, since we already have that in hand. And this, I think, is extremely important. I think that's it.
No, wonderful, Harkeerat. This is beautiful. Adi, let's talk a little bit more about how AI. You're already using a lot of AI, all right? But what are some of the plans that you have in the roadmap for incorporating new AI features into the product?
Well, AI's role would grow by understanding, by helping for it to understand how we give it its prompts, or it categorizing, or it processing more inputs more accurately or intuitively. Well, what I've thought is that we could add an personalized assistant based on the prescriptions, or AI diagnosis for minor symptoms or first aid. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great, Adi, because it sort of becomes like a generative AI feature where there's a chatbot present. I can interact with it in a very natural way. All right, you're already using a lot of NLP, so that's a beautiful feature that you guys are going to add. Wonderful. So Ahan, let's come back to you. With some of the rapid advances in technology, Vitaris is obviously working in a space where there is a lot of competition, for sure, right? As we talk about the market needs. So how have you been thinking about making it very relevant and very adaptable to the future requirements?
The first step, first very obvious step, is to be aware of what is going on around us in the field of technology, AI, machine learning, etc. And we have to keep the system modular and easy to upgrade so that we can adapt to the environment around us to keep our system relevant. We have to, like right now, as we know, Vitaris is in a very prototype stage, very early stage. So we have to add more features like smarter data processing, improved automation, smoother integration, and we also have to add new features like, let's say, a new, more advanced AI model that can perform tasks other than NLP. And we have to keep Vitaris flexible and scalable enough to quickly stay in the pace of newly emerged innovation in the field of medical technology. And we have to regularly talk to users so that we know what changes are in demand and make improvements according to them.
That's great, Ahan. This demonstrates how you have the users in mind as you're designing all these roadmap. While technology is certainly an enabler, but you guys have the users in mind. You're talking to users to make sure that you're front and center of everything that you're doing. So that's great. So all right. So that brings us towards the next segment, which we call as the rapid fire round. So Ashvik, will start with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ashvik, my first question to you is, what's your go-to programming language for quick prototyping?
Okay, so for me, my Python is my go-to programming language for quick prototyping. Its simplicity, extensive libraries, and the active community processes makes it ideal for rapidly developing and testing ideas. So whether I'm working on data processing, AI, web development, or even integrating some hardware components, Python provides the flexibility and speed that I need for efficient prototyping.
Okay, wonderful. And one more for you, Ashvik. So name one global challenge that you would like to solve with technology.
So, a global challenge that I would like to solve is mental health awareness and support. Many young people face mental health challenges but lack access to resources or feel stigmatized feeling for help, feel seeking help. So, technology can empower them to create platforms like peer support apps, AI-driven chatbots for emotional support, or gamified of wellness tools. Social media campaigns led by young creators can also spread awareness and normalize the conversations around mental health. With their creativity and digital fluency, younger audience can foster a culture of empathy and proactive mental health care globally.
Yeah, wonderful. I like the way you think because the mental health, indeed, we don't see it, but we certainly feel it. Mental health is certainly becoming a big challenge in today's day and age. So I'm so glad that even at this young age, Ashwin, you guys are thinking about it. It's wonderful. Okay, Ahan, we move on to you. So my first rapid fire round to you. What is the most innovative technology that you have encountered recently?
So recently, Google released a new quantum chip known as Willow, and it can solve problems in minutes that would take regular supercomputers billions of years. And it also solves one of the biggest challenges in quantum computing, which is error correction, because what usually happens is the more computing power you add, the higher the error margin is. But with Willow's technology, it can reduce the error margin significantly, and it makes it more reliable for future use. And I'm personally very interested in seeing how this technology is going to be used.
Yeah, no, you are spot on, Ahan. I read about it recently, and I'm just intrigued by the way the challenge, the amount of transformation that quantum computing can bring into our world that we live in, especially in medical, right? We struggle with new drugs, and hopefully, at some point of time in the future, quantum computing can just make it easy for new drugs, especially. All right. So my next one to you is, how do you stay updated with the latest tech trends?
I follow trusted sources for daily, weekly updates, and I also keep an eye on social media platforms like YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter, where I follow tech leaders and enthusiasts who share interesting news and insights. And there's also lots of podcasts and YouTube channels focused on emerging technologies, and they help me know more about fields that are relevant to me, like AI and software development. And I also like to play around with new tools and open source projects so that I am aware of what's going on around me and I am also upgrading myself.
All right, great. And make sure that you also follow the AI with Arun Show for all the rapid developments.
Of course.
All right. All right. Okay. All right. So we move on to Adi now. Adi, my first one to you. If you could master one new programming language instantly, what would it be?
I would master JavaScript. First of all, it's hard, so learning it instantly would be much better for me. Secondly, it's essential for front end and frameworks like React, Angular, Vue.js. It has like damn amount of libraries, and we can use it for UI design. We can develop AR or VR games. We can use game development for 3J or Babylon JS. Yes, that's all.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I hadn't thought
Yes.
about it, but yeah, that's a
Uh,
wonderful way. Okay. And my next question to you, Adi, is what's your favorite data visualization tool?
for me, it would be Google Data Studio because, first of all, it's free. Second of all, it can integrate with the Google products. So if I store something in any Google app like Google Documents or my Gmail account, so the integration is very seamless.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
That's a good one, Adi. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
thank you, Adi. All right. So, Harkeerat, we'll move on to you. So, name a recent AI breakthrough that excites you the most.
If you'll allow me, I'd like to name a few since this is so exciting in general. Firstly, we're in the time when OpenAI's 12 days of announcements just almost finished, and the recent announcement was their O3 engine, which the exponential increase that it had in computing power was extremely surprising, especially in how it deals with uh, deals with coding stuff. For example, it was tested in code forces and it performed like similar to how the 150th person in the world performs, which is crazy. And also the increase in the improvement it had basically in regards to its last predecessor, which was ChatGPT 4.0, and the exponential increases was really awesome to see. Secondly, Google also announced their VEO2 video engine along with Sora, which was also announced by OpenAI. And these two video engines excite me a lot because in the past 15 years, we've seen a shift from text to video. Text-based media has subsided or at least plateaued, while video has emerged as the cutting edge of communication or information delivery. And with now being this good at generating videos, especially with Google's VEO2 being able to handle physics with regards to our actual world and handling real animate objects, it's extremely surprising to see. And with the way that this development has happened over the past 2 years, with how the initial stages of Sora and VO2 were and what it has now become, I have zero idea what it leads to in the future. And finally, I'd like to end with something which is a little more niche, and that is something I discovered recently only while working on this project, and that is Bolt.new. It is a website that integrates this AI only with making websites. It allows you to create entire front-end projects, entire projects that have actual complicated logic by just writing a prompt. It's extremely surprising what it can do. It can handle all tasks. It creates a directory for you. It creates code for you. It allows you to deploy it. And to see that as an actual product that exists right now really opened my eyes. Yeah. I think that's all.
Yeah, no, Harkeerat, you're right. The kind of advancements that these companies are offering, especially to developers,
Exactly.
right, or people who are in product managers, it's phenomenal.
Exactly.
All right, so my next one to you is, how do you see AI impacting international law in the next decade? And the reason I ask that is because I know that you are a fan of international law.
Yeah, I am. And especially the intersection of AI and international law right now is very important because I'll answer this question in two parts. The first thing is international law. A large part of international law deals with humanitarian law, which is in regards to conflicts, wars, etc. And AI really shakes the foundations because there's a concept in international law called attribution of criminal responsibility. Now, why does AI affect this so much? Because a weapon that is autonomous weapon systems is the actual term we use for this, but a weapon that is autonomous in nature, how can it be traced back to its aggressor? Who is the human responsible behind that attack? And that is why tracing this responsibility, making sure that we have legal frameworks that can address attacks that cannot be, let's say, traced back to a single source, that are autonomous in nature. That is something that international law has to deal with coming in the coming years. Since we do not expect this to happen, we do not expect technology to become so advanced so quickly. So our legislation definitely needs to change. On the second front, AI in a more commercial manner affects international law because affects copyright law basically. Since now we have AI that can create videos, create that are usable commercially. Now, who owns the license to those videos? And these models, they need to be trained on other already pre-existing media. So something like YouTube videos. OpenAI has gotten into a lot of controversy in regards to their, using open source YouTube videos for training their models. And is the creation of those models then who owns those, whose copyright is on them, and whether creators own their own content or they can be allowed to feed it into AI models. That is very important. Also, with regards to art, will the entire concept of art change because now we have soft AIs that can create millions of images, millions of high quality animated works even in seconds, and who owns the rights to those? So I think copyright law will also have to change or at least adapt significantly to make sure that we protect authentic, original, human created artwork, or let's say any sort of work. And then there's the generative stuff. So yeah, I think that is the main 2 points which currently in the next 10 years will definitely have to be addressed. Otherwise, you can't say what will happen in the future.
You're right, okay. There are many of these problems that did not exist yesterday, but
Exactly.
they're all coming in because of the AI. And one of the things I tell people is, when people ask personally me, do you think there'll be job losses because of AI? And I think these are the things that are opening up. There are a lot of new things that we just have not thought about, and these are probably the new jobs for the future.
Exactly. So, people, there will be job losses, obviously, but then there will be so much job creation as well because entire industries would not know what are opening up. So
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
just a huge shift, and I think that makes a lot of people excited and uncomfortable at the same time.
exactly. Yes, yeah, so spot on. Great. All right. So thank you so much. I'm so used to calling gentlemen people who come. Not to say that you're not gentle people, but thank you. Yeah, thank you, young adults, for coming on my show. And this has been by far the most special one on the AI with Arun Show. I really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor
Thank
to
you
be
so
here.
much.
All right. Have a great rest of the day and talk soon.
Thank you.